This was one of the first projects where I was directing somebody else's script. Just something I'd always wanted to try. Alan August, who wrote Worm, is somebody that we've been trying to figure out a project to work on together for quite a while. And so he has sent a number of different ideas, and this one just seems kind of the most interesting. It also sort of appealed to me because of its simplicity. Some of my previous projects were really complicated. A lot of pre-production, extended duration of time, and very complicated, and you're in the studio. And you can tell a good story that way, and a lot of people do. But it's exhausting. I wanted to see if I could tell a story, but keep it super simple. What if we have one location, 2 characters, and what could we do where we just shoot it in a weekend? When you write the script, you're really attached to every little thing that's in it. If something's not working, but you still are in love with it, it makes it really hard to cut or change or squash it so that it works. Whereas if it's somebody else's script, you can be more objective about getting the story to work the way that it should. Writing and production are completely different mindsets, so it's really hard to write a script that shoots perfectly. But those decisions and those changes are much easier to make when you don't have a personal relationship with every single word on the page. You know what the scene's about, you know what the story's about, and you can make those decisions a little more fluidly. Casting was fun. We put out a casting call, and we did a whole day of auditions, and quickly whittled it down to 2 or 3 people for each role. And I liked Jessica primarily because of her look. I really wanted somebody with that sort of good Midwestern farm stock vibe. She was the first person to audition during the set. And as soon as she walked in, I saw her look, and I'm like, I really hope this person knows how to perform because she has the right look.
Look at what you've become!
And I've wanted to work with Heath for a long time. Heath's wife did his makeup before he came in. Of course, his character is bedridden and sick. And he came in costume with makeup done. It was like ready for the part. It was funny. He was ready to go. We could have just shot it with him at the audition. It's brother and sister, so that the two had to feel like they were kind of a matched set. And Heath and Jessica kind of played off of each other very well. Just looking at their audition tapes and cutting them together, I think that they looked really nice.
What I really liked about Alan's script is that it was, dark and funny. It was Alfred Hitchcock-like, and I was really on board when I found out that Dave Quakenbush was part of it, because I knew he was just going to tie together and bring together everything that Alan wanted.
David sent me the script, and when I read it, I was like, oh no, this is so creepy and weird. Oh, I have to do it. It's me, it's me. I couldn't stop rereading it. Something about Alice and her love for her brother in that weird kind of obsessive way. It drew me in, and I obsessed over it. I like creepy, dark stuff.
I got sick when I came for the first audition, and I vomited about 2 times. And then in the rehearsals, I got sick again, and I was vomiting.
Are you okay?
I threw up, man.
Oh my God.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you feel better now?
Not entirely. And some people might attribute it to being a method actor and actually being in the character.
Heath came in and he was really in character. Heath is a real method actor.
But I don't know if I'm that good. I don't want to experience that again. Maybe next time I could have a character who's like wealthy. Working with Jessica Garrett, it was pretty awesome because she's actually from theater background, and I've got only film. I have just a little smidgen of theater on me. So it was nice seeing her take the character and really build the character. Like she really put her work in. And it was believable, even as an actor sitting opposite of her.
He was hilarious. He was fun, he was funny, and then when it was time to get down to business, he was a great scene partner, really focused. He was really great about making things comfortable. As soon as I walked on set, he was like, give me a big hug, and was really friendly and welcoming. It was very easy to love him as my brother.
It was a fun film to be director of photography on because it had a lot of style to it, a lot of good art direction on it. A little bit of a nostalgic look. We got to spend a lot of time making everything in that room perfect, just the way that we wanted. David's great because he has a vision. He has an idea of how he wants things to look, and that's always what you want. But David is also a good collaborator. He's good at taking input from other people and using ideas that other people had. You tend to get kind of a crick in your neck working with David because he's tall. So you do a lot of this. Okay, yes, David. Oh, I understand. We shot on DSLRs because honestly it's kind of the bang for your buck factor. DSLRs are great for getting a cinematic look as long as you know what their limitations are and you know how to work around those limitations. The focus throw is really short on it, And so you make a tiny change and all of a sudden you've focused from here to infinity. So you have to do these little tiny focus adjustments. Fortunately, Vadim did a great job at that. He was a great first AC and did those little tiny focus pulls and nailed them.
The oatmeal scene, the dreaded oatmeal scene.
The oatmeal scene was a lot of fun.
I don't know, my wife can't watch it, but I think it's completely delightful.
In fact, the hardest part about the oatmeal scene was not blowing takes by laughing.
I had oatmeal spewed in my face. That was cool.
There were 3 different mixers of the oatmeal, so we had 3 different consistencies. There was chunky, there was like solid mass, and then there was liquid. And so David told me go all out. He didn't want me to pull back, and it was cool because we also talked with Jessica, and she was on board with it too. But she didn't expect as much oatmeal to come out at that velocity. I just let it rip. I tasted the oatmeal. And just blah, all over her chin, her face. I think some went into her mouth.
Pretty sure I was picking oatmeal out of my ears, my nose, my teeth.
Someone take her a picture before she wipes. I can't even describe it. It was just a great hit. And her reaction was so pure because I think Heath actually spit oatmeal in her mouth and she was a little freaked out by that.
That was amazing.
Gross.
She's a trooper.
I actually love that stuff. I love when an actor is asked to do something just awful and terrible, because those are the things that make you remarkable and memorable. Thanks, David.
I love the music. Greth did a really good job.
I first suggested something along the lines of the Twilight Zone, and David said that he didn't want it to sound like 60s television. In a sense, I still kept that frame of mind, going with a little bit of Bernard Herrmann.
I'm dazzled that people can do those sorts of things with sounds. It seems like it's a very complicated kind of a composition, and he nailed the moments and the emotions just right.
I wrote music for the entire thing and then sent it to David, and he had a couple things he wanted to change, and so I went back and made some revisions and found something that I think everyone was happy with.
The indie film scene in Colorado is just like no other. We're right smack dab in the middle of the country. You know, we're like this hub, this central area for everybody from California to New York. And I just feel that Denver's got like this passion and this love, and all of the people who are creating is only going to thrive.
I think that we have a pretty strong culture here. We have a great community of creative people. There's a lot of output. There's a lot of people working on a lot of really interesting things. And I think it's silly that we import all of our culture and entertainment from these places thousands of miles away. We've got it here. And I really feel like we should be making our own content.
I had a blast working on Worm.
It was delightful.
After 2 days in that small room with all those people, I felt like I had a tapeworm. No, I didn't.
Great cast and crew.
It was probably one of the most professional, fantastic crews I've ever worked with.
It was great. You know, everybody on that was fantastic.
The warmth and the kindness and the patience.
Good team.
Great cast, great crew.
That's the kind of people I like to work with.
It's a lot of fun.
I would do a million more films like that if I could.
I just want to work on more cool projects. And this is where I live, so I'm going to do what I can to make things happen here.